Another issue is the fact that he's not Catholic. I think if you're not going to vote for him because he's not Catholic, I don't know. You're shutting your eyes because it's not like Biden's really Catholic. I mean, the guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue for anyone. The border.
Yeah. You know what? Catholics need to be, regardless of, in fact, I would almost say that this is one area where I would say American bishops, I think it's most of the bishops throughout the world, but especially American bishops. This is one area where American bishops are being supremely irresponsible. As Catholics, we need to support borders. We need to support the idea that borders matter and that the rules of border crossings ought to be enforced. The lack of strong borders is the primary enablement for human trafficking
and drug trade. Yeah,
and drug trade. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk, so many people want to say, "Oh yeah, gosh, Trump. Okay, he's anti-abortion, but is he really pro-life? I mean, look, he wants strong borders. You know what? Strong borders are pro-life.
Yeah.
Loose borders are anti-life, people.
You know, touching on that, because he's also called a xenophobe a lot because of how he reacts to other countries and how he reacts to those people coming to America. And I would point something out, and this leaks into another subject, which is the military complex. Over the past, I think going all the way back to Vietnam, we have started these little wars all over the world. We have American military bases all over the world, many of which are in active battle. And the wars that we're in really aren't in our best interest. What they are is a way to make money. For contractors, for generals, for a lot of people. And he's putting a stop to that, first of all. Second of all,
yeah,
I would just, when it comes to his pro-life stance and someone claiming that he's only pro-life for abortion, I would point to that little event that took place with Iran where they blew up a drone. Do you remember that? It was a drone it was like a $200 million drone, and Iran hit it with something and blew it up. And this is just after Trump issuing a warning to Iran not to take any kind of military action against Americans.
Not to interfere, right.
So they blow up the drone, and everybody in the world is holding their breath because they think Trump's going to drop the bomb on them.
Launch a war.
And he has this press conference, and he said, we had this plan, this attack plan. He said, I asked the general, okay, how many people are going to die in this? And he said, 200 people are going to die in this one attack. And he said, I don't think so. They didn't kill any people. They just shot down one of our planes. And $200 million is not worth any human life. This was his reasoning for not attacking Iran. I don't think any other president would have ever said something like that.
What? Yeah, I mean, Barack Obama wouldn't have reasoned that way. Bill Clinton wouldn't have reasoned that way. That's for sure.
He bombed aspirin factories to draw attention away from Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah,
Trump was unwilling to attack a country that we already see as our enemy, because he wasn't going to get revenge on an attack against our equipment by taking human life. You can't tell me that's not a serious pro-life position.
Yeah. I mean, he's the commander-in-chief. He could have ordered it, and there are lots of people who would have lined up to justify it. And
even his
support
base
him.
would have been fine with it. If he had attacked Iran, I would have been fine with it. But I absolutely admire him even more for taking that stance now.
That's a good point. Yeah. Those who try to claim that he's only anti-abortion, he's not really pro-life. They really don't have a leg to stand on.
He's 100% pro-life. And then, incidentally, this wasn't a weakness. This was, because the next day he issued another warning to Iran and said something to the effect that if one human life is attacked by you, if you guys end one human life, one American life, I will come down on you like you wouldn't believe. And I think the next week Iran attacked this base, but they arranged it so that there were no Americans in the base. He is serious about attacking if he has to attack, but he values human life. That's all there is to it. But also, concerning the border, there's also the argument that he promised us a wall and we don't have a wall.
Well, not for lack of his trying.
He has been building a wall.
We've got a lot more of a wall than we started with.
He's done a lot more than any other president has. They've fought him every step of the way. Even what he has built has been fought. And they're trying to hide the miles that he's put in already because the media knows how much people wanted that wall, and they figure if they can make the case that there is no wall, then maybe his base will back off. I think that might be working for some people, or I'm afraid it's working for some people.
Really?
Well,
the people backing
I
off
think
the
a lot of
support
people
for
are
him
saying,
because
where's the
they
wall?
feel like he failed
Where's
on
the
that
wall?
promise?
Why, when I go downtown Cincinnati, why are there 20 Mexicans down there working for in these day labor jobs, taking jobs against Cincinnatians?
All right, people. Yeah, okay, guys. You've got immigrants in all of your cities. It's not like these people commute every day from Mexico into Cincinnati or Chicago or wherever. If you're thinking that's a failed promise, that he didn't make good, at least to the best of his effort there, just because you're seeing immigrants in your city, come on, wake up.
I would also add
those were
there
already
was
there.
a failure on the part of the voters. We allowed the Democrats to take the House,
control the House,
and that
which is where appropriations
that slowed him
begin.
down a lot.
Yep.
I mean, that's why we got the impeachment.
Let's give him the House back for the next 4 years.
Give him the House back, and heck, let's give him a supermajority.
And keep the Senate. Yeah.
If you're disappointed in the progress of the wall, I don't know what to say. He's doing everything he can, and it is getting done. And it is getting done. And it is getting done.